Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to start with text tool in Photoshop. Photoshop is a resolution based application. So if you are working with the text, resolution will play an important role. I have already created two different documents with different resolution, in which print document have 300 resolution and my screen document have 72 resolution. When you have different page size, it will not affect that much, but if your resolution of both the document is different, then it will be very different output in terms of font size and the quality of the text. Let me quickly show you the property for the text. Guys, don't worry about how I have created a text. That is my upcoming topic right now. So I just want to show you what will be the difference if you are working with the high resolution file size and lower resolution file size. So to see that, I am going to zoom my page by using zoom tool. It is available in your toolbar. So select the toolbar, select the zoom tool, click and drag. Now you can see I have zoomed almost to 50%. You can see, you can track it from status bar. It is available here. Let us repeat the same process in screen, activating zoom tool and clicking and dragging on the zoom on the page. As you can see, in my 72 resolution document, my pixel dimensions are getting bigger, my text is getting distorted. Whereas if I am working with the print, my pixel dimensions are smaller and my text is not getting distorted very much. So that is a basic difference we have to understand. So whenever you are working with the text, try to go with the higher resolution. So if you are working with the web dimensions, so don't worry about it. Text can be added afterwards with the help of HTML. So our focus is how to work with the 300 resolution. So let us start with the lecture now. First, let me reset my page. I don't need a screen document, so I'm going to close my document by clicking on the tab, just closing my document. I'm not going to save my file. So our first task is how to activate our text tool. So to activate the text tool, first you need to go with the toolbar. So this is on the left side, you can see this is my toolbar. In the toolbar, there is a T alphabet and that's my text tool. You have to click on the text. Once you click on the text tool, you can see my properties are changed now. First thing, before starting with the text, we have to understand there are two types of text. One is called as an artistic text, other one is called as a paragraph text. Let me repeat this one time. First option is called as an artistic text, other option is called as a paragraph text. What is the difference between the two? As you can see in this document, I have a very big text, and in this you can differentiate between your title part, that is types of T, and information related to my title. So the arrangement of the text matters and it will allow you to differentiate between your title and your content. So that is a difference we have to understand. But if you are working with a Word file, in the Word file, you don't have to worry about it, because when you work with the Word, you can see I have a by default a blinking cursor, which allows you to start with the text anytime. You don't have to activate any kind of tool. So I can start with my text. Once I am finished with my line, my cursor is automatically shifted to a next line. So that is a difference first you have to recognize. Now how this is relevant to Photoshop. So let us go back to Photoshop. So in this, as you can see, I have already activated the text. Now adding a text will make a difference. What does it mean? So when you single click on the screen, you can see my blinking cursor is active. Now let me write something. I'll go with Adobe Photoshop. As you can see, my text is very big, so it is going beyond my page, so don't worry about it right now. So let me quickly change my settings, so don't worry about it. We are going to learn this, how to select and how to modify this. So once you single click on the screen, my blinking cursor gets activated and it allows me to insert my text. If you are working with this, as you can see, I am typing something and it is going beyond my page and still I am able to type my text. It's a different concept that I am unable to see my content, but as you can see, my cursor is getting extended. You can see it is located somewhere here. Now if I want to shift to my second line, I have to use my enter button on my keyboard and now I can start my typing. So it is like if you know that your page is finished, you have to manually press enter command, then you can start typing again. So now I am aware that my page is going to get finished. So I am pressing my enter button and I am going to type this again. So in short, if you are single clicking on the screen, I have a continuous big text. Until and unless you are pressing enter, it will not shift to a second line. So this is called my artistic text. Now, style number 2, that is paragraph text, and to do that, again I have to select the text tool, single clicking on the text tool. Now instead of clicking on the page, just click and drag on my page. Once you click and drag on your page, you can see I have a small dotted line. We can say this as a text frame, and this text frame, see the magic now. If I am working with the text frame, my text is shifted to second line automatically to a new line without pressing enter command. That is the beauty of your text frame. Text frame is nothing but you create a boundary on your page and you are restricting your text to fit within that boundary only. So that is a difference we have to understand. So let me revise this quickly. So there are two types of text. One is called as the artistic text, which is this. Other one is called as a paragraph text. Artistic text is used for the titling purpose. Like if I come here in my Word document, I'm just pressing enter. I'm just going to say this is my heading. So if I have to write heading like this, what I'll do, I'll simply single click on my screen and I will add it. So this is my heading. So if I want to continue this setting in the Photoshop, same way, what I'll do now, I'll go with the text, single click on the screen and add your content. So right now what I'm writing is heading of my content. So Adobe Photoshop is my heading now. But if I have a lots of content, if I have a more than 2 or 3 lines, I will definitely choose my paragraph text. And if you want to add a paragraph text, you just have to single click and drag on my screen. So that is how we are going to create a text frame. So text frame allows me to work with the restricted area, and the benefit is I don't have to worry about enter. It will be added within that boundary. The text will be restricted into that area only. So that is a difference we have to understand. Let us start with the properties now. So first thing, whenever you are working with the Photoshop, if you want to finish or exit from the existing tool, either you can come here. This is the tick button you have to press to exit from the text, or else you can directly go to the move tool. I'm going to use move tool, single click on the screen, and right now I don't need this, so I'm going to press delete on my keyboard. Okay, when you work with the text tool automatically creates its own independent layer. You don't have to create new layer manually. it will create its own layer automatically. So don't worry about it. Now, once you create your text, there are certain properties which we can change, like font style, font size, and font color. Let us see how to do that. First thing, you can see if you are working with the move tool, I have a move tool ka property. I don't have text tool ka properties. Now to activate text tool property, first thing you have to do is go with the text tool and single click within existing text. Mark my words, if you are working with the text, don't click outside the text. You are supposed to click on the existing text. If you click outside the text, it will create one more new independent layer. And again, it will allow you to create a new text, but it is not going to allow you to change your existing text properties. So whenever you want to modify something, better to go with the text tool and single click on your text. So when you single click on the text, in the option bar, option bar is beneath your menu. So this is my menu. Okay. And beneath that we have option bar. So this thing is called as an option bar. So this is my option bar. And I personally suggest don't make a floating option bar. It is very irritating and frustrating. Already if you are working with the laptops, your screen is synced. It's very small. So better to go with the docked panel. So how to dock this thing now? So click, and once your blue bar is active, leave that thing. So you can see it's fixed now. So better to go with the fixed option bar. So in the option bar, as you can see, I have lots of properties now. We are going to learn step by step. My first task is I need to select my text, and to do that, hold your left button on your mouse and drag it till the end. Let me do this again. What you have to do is single click and drag. You can select alphabet, you can select word, or you can select your entire sentence. It depends on us what exactly you want to change. Right now my requirement is I just want to change my font style. I don't want to work with the Arial right now. So what you have to do is single click and drag on the text. There is one more method to make a selection, and that is the easiest way you can do. And to repeat or to do that process, I need my layer panel. So as you can see, there is a text thumbnail. So this is my text thumbnail, and it is showing me what content I have. So I don't have to rename my layer. It will adapt it whatever my text layer contains. So if I want to select or make a selection, I just have to double click on my T. So you can see by default it will activate my text, it will activate my properties, and it will highlight my text. That is the easiest way to make a selection. Let us do this last time. So what you have to do is make sure your layer panel is open. I hope you remember how to work with a layer panel. I hope you are not forgotten it. And if you are forgotten it, just go to Windows, and here we have a layer panel. F7 is the shortcut key. Guys, don't forget the layer panel because this is the most important panel you have in Photoshop. So open a layer panel and double click on the T. So once you make a selection, you can see my entire content is selected now. Once you select, go to option bar, and over here we have different font style. Font style by default depends what version you are using. So according to that version, your library will be updated. Some fonts you can download it by your own also. That will be my separate topic, how to install the fonts. Right now my focus is how to modify my text. So in this session I'm not going to teach you how to install it. I'll show you that in the upcoming sessions. So to change the style, first what you have to do is click on the drop down menu and hover your mouse. As you hover your mouse, you can see on my page it is getting updated. If you are working with a higher version allows me to filter my fonts. For example, if I like this font, I can filter that by clicking on my star. So this star will allow me to filter some of the favorite font. So I can make a favorite list over here. Now to filter this thing in font panel only, here you can see I have a option called as a favorite font. Click on it, and whatever fonts we have filtered, we can take a look at very easily. So you don't have to go with the all the way till the bottom and activate your favorite font. So just make a star, select a star, and that will be added into your favorites. So that is how we can filter our fonts according to our requirement. Right now I don't have any favorites, so let me deselect my filtered options. So this is one of the method. Other method is, what you can do is, make sure your selection is active. Single click on the Arial. I hope you can see Arial is written, and I'm going to select like this and use arrow on keyboard, and you can go through your all the fonts without opening your font style panel. So whenever you are selecting the font, just remember our last session. We have two different options. We have 5 different families, which depends on your serif and sans serif fonts. So we have already gone through what is serif and sans serif. So select your font according to your requirement. So there is no restriction what you have to do and what you don't have to do. Right now I am looking for the font which is very bold and which will look very nice and slick. So let me go through the fonts. And if you are selecting a font, I suggest take your time to select the font, because selection of a font is very important. If we are specifically targeting for the advertisement, make sure your font is very much clean and readable. Don't go with the cursive font like this, because cursive font is not that readable, and it is not for masses, it is for the classes. If someone is unable to read this, you are going to miss some important details. Okay, so make sure you are going to select appropriate font. So let us settle on Ebrima font. Right now I am selecting Ebrima. If you don't have Ebrima font, don't worry about it. You can opt it for any other font, or you can go with your favorites also. So don't worry about it. So that is how I can select and change my font. Apart from that, if your font support, you will have font formatting also. Font formatting is something bold, italic, regular. So we have varieties of it, and it totally depends on what type of font you are working with. If you are working with a basic font, that is Arial, Arial have lots of formatting option like regular, italic, bold, bold italic, and my favorite, it's Arial black. So you can select any of it. So I don't have to tell you each and everything, because these are some basic concepts. Everything is in your word also. Okay, so don't worry about it. This is very much dependent on what font type you are going to select. This thing is not available in everything. It is just an example. In Arial font, I have all formatting options. But if you are opting for something like Century Gothic, you don't have that setting available here, because that font is by default a bold font. Next thing, we have a font size. From here I can change my font size according to my requirement. If we have a heading, go beyond your 20 ka value. So page size, according to the page size and your page dimension, and what exactly you want to emphasize. Depending on it, you are going to change your size. As you can see, after 36 I have directly 48, and if you want in between ka number, I can go with the 40. Select it, say 40. So that is how I can change it. Select it, I'll go with say 50. So that easily you can change the size. As you can see guys, as I'm changing my font size, my text is getting outside my document. So what I'm going to do is, I am just going to bring my cursor below Photoshop, click and drag this. Click and drag this on the page. So once you click and drag in this page, you can see my content is adjusted now. So that is how we have to adjust the font. Just one thing remember guys, don't finalize your font size until and unless you are finalizing the font. So basically, finalize your font style first, then the font size. That is what we have to take care of it. So this is the most important part. So I am finalizing Century Gothic, finalizing the bold, changing the font size to 50. I think that is better. No, 50 is thoda sa big. So let me decrease my font size. I'll go with a 40. I think this is better. And now if you want to move this, click and drag and bring it in the center of the page. I think this is enough. Once you have finalized all the main technical part, it's time to change the color. So here only I have a font color. I can change my font color. Like you can use it anything. Just remember one thing. If you are changing the color for the title, make sure you have a bright and attractive color. I'll go with the blue color right now because it is relevant to Photoshop. Say OK. And once you have done this, either click on this or select the move tool. So this is the way we can create a text. We can update the font style. We can update the formatting. We can change the size and we can change the color. So this is how we can work with the basic text.